watching Let's Chat.
We're glad to have you back here with us on Let's Chat Thursday, hours away from the big Super Bowl game coming up this Sunday. And of course, as I mentioned a moment ago, we have Jim Reynolds, Darrell Patterson, and Coach Buddy next. Gentlemen, good morning to all of you. All right, Super Bowl this year got kind of a different feel to it. I guess many of us were hoping the Titans would make the game. Sadly, they did not. But still, this year seems to have kind of a extra bounce in it, if you will. Any thoughts on that?
So I think we were talking the other day. I'm not sure there's a Packers, there's a Steelers, there's just a super. And I know the fan base in Cincinnati, they're excited about the Bengals. They can't remember the last time the Bengals won the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I was going to say. So they're excited, but I'm not sure they have the nationwide reach. And the Rams are the Rams, and laid back LA. So I'm not sure there's the passion of the Brady fans or the Patriots fans or the Steeler fans or someone like that.
All right, Darrell, your thoughts?
Same thing. It's Cincinnati. I think at the first of the year we're like 200 and 500 to 1 shots to make the Super Bowl. Burrow has just done a great job up there, and the Rams have been consistently good. I mean, they were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, so it's not a big shock that they're there, but the way, and Buddy and I were talking about this earlier, has there ever been a better, more exciting postseason?
Yeah,
with games going into overtime, field goals, winning it, and everything else. That's what I expect this coming Sunday, because I think Buddy would agree with this too, that these two teams, you talk about equally matched.
Yeah, well, let's ask him. Coach Nix, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a good game for a change. I mean, it's got to be. They got to follow up all these playoff games with at least a competitive game, and I think they will. Both of these teams are, everybody talks about the quarterbacks. That's what we all like to talk about, but defensively, both of them are good. Now, Cincinnati, what they do in the second, I can't even pronounce the coordinator's name, but in the second half, they've made some adjustments that's unreal.
All right, let me ask you this, Coach Nix, while we're on you. Did the right two teams make the Super Bowl this year?
I don't think so. I really think Buffalo probably had the best team. And I mean, I'm prejudiced, but you just look at them, it could have gone. They just made a couple of bad calls at the end of the game. But talent-wise, Kansas City and Buffalo were probably better than Cincinnati.
Darrell, your thought?
I would agree. Of course, being a Titans fan, I was pulling for and hoping for the Titans. I'm with Buddy here. Since Buddy went to Buffalo, I became a Buffalo Bills fan.
Right.
First time since Jim Kelly that I was a Buffalo Bills fan. But you kind of wanted Brady to be in the Super Bowl because you're thinking maybe this is Tom's last year, and maybe we can get him out of the game if he can get him one more Super Bowl ring.
Jim, your thoughts?
First of all, Coach Nix is prejudiced, so he does have a bias.
He's earned that right.
There's no question about that. But when you had Josh Allen, the quarterback at Buffalo, and Patrick Mahomes, obviously marquee guys. But it's neat to see a Joe Burrow, I think. Yeah. I mean, he's Joe Cool now.
Yeah, sure.
And just to talk about that group of 3 quarterbacks, this group of young quarterbacks coming up have been so impressive throughout the year and certainly in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a fun game. Both Darrell and Buddy are wrong. It's not going to be a close. It's
not quite time for the predictions just yet, but we're not getting we're getting closer and closer to that.
I think we should keep the insults going. That's where I'm coming from.
That's why you're here. There's nobody throwing out insults just off the cuff than Jim Reynolds. I mean, he can come up with them in his sleep. Burrows, mentioned him a moment ago. What makes him kind of the Joe Cool, as you said? He has played some incredible ball this year.
Yeah, you look at the talent that some of these other guys have got, Mahomes and those guys, as far as, and Josh Allen's size and being able to move around like he does. This guy he don't jump out at you that way. His is mentally and his way to handle pressure, the way he handles pressure. I think he throws to the right people and he throws it in the right place, and that makes a lot of difference. That's what Brady's done for years.
I think it was Darrell I was talking to a few weeks ago about this. We're going to go with Darrell. Burrows makes it look easy. You know it's anything, but he makes it look like a a walk in the park.
It's like JR said, he's Joe Cool. He is. I love that demeanor that he has. And he's never lost a playoff game. He's never lost in college, postseason game, NFL. He's never been the losing quarterback. If we were betting people, which we are not, I'm sure.
Are you kidding? 3 broadcasters and a football coach?
We would not, I don't think we would have bet on Cincinnati at any point in any game this year. And you wouldn't have bet against them with the Titans. The Titans just had a flat ball game, in my opinion.
It seems like, and looking back, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback or armchair quarterback. The Titans made a heck of a lot of really good plays this year, but when they made bad ones, they dropped the bowling ball in the wading pool. They were terrible.
Yeah.
What would you tell, and I definitely want to get Coach Nix's opinion on this, what would you tell the head coach of each team? We'll start with Jim. I'll let Buddy work his way up to it. What would you tell, being a sports guy, what advice would you give the coach?
I think it'd be pretty simple because turnovers are so important. That's what you alluded to.
Yeah.
When Ryan Tannehill was good, he was good, but when he turned it over, the Titans didn't have a chance. I would say, especially early on, don't force things. You do not have to win the game. Let's win it as 11 on 11, not as 1 or 2 on 11. Just, you don't have to force things. Let the game come to you. Take a breath every so often.
Darrell.
I think I would say amen to that. That's the key, of course, in any game is turnovers, control the ball, and I think kind of what we're going to see Sunday is more of a ball control game, and both teams are going to want to do that. Mm-hmm. Nobody's expecting a great. Let me say that again. Everybody is probably expecting, just air it out, throw it down the field. But I think, especially from the Rams, I think you're going to see them run the ball, try to take time off the clock, and just dominate the game with a running game.
Buddy.
One of the biggest mistakes you make in playoff games and the Super Bowls, you got too much time. They got 2 weeks rather than 4 days. And it used to be the same way in college when you went to a bowl game. You had 3 weeks to a month. So you actually outthink yourself. You start doing things that you think, well, we'll trick them here, we won't do this, we did it. The best thing they can do is what they've been doing and handle them the same way.
Right.
Go into them with the same plan. The things that got you there, you better dance with that same old gal.
You have preached for years the importance of consistency on a football team, and we're going to talk about some consistent players, some consistent actions and reactions, if you will. And we're also going to talk about some of the local connections to this year's big game coming up. Keep it here. We're back with Coach Buddy Nix, Darrell Patterson, and Jim Reynolds right after this.